Greetings all, Shardvixen. So today is the topic one. I didn't have a topic ready. Life has been a little crazy here. Um, Not for any particular reason. Okay, so my life in my house has changed a bit. That's a rambling thing. We'll talk about it next Friday. But I had to pick something to talk about in brain food. But I'm not really going to do a brain food topic one. I'm going to do something about me. So it's kind of a mix between rambling, know thyself, and what does the vixen say? Just because it didn't have a lot. So there's a lot of background noise going on. We've changed things up. Bobby Joe is now downstairs, and my new friend, my not new friend, but my old friend is living upstairs in the other bedroom. What you see behind me is my crafting table. It's still very messy, but we're getting closer. We got the printer set up. We're going to get the printer set up so I'll be able to make pictures. In case you ever wonder, we have no curtains in our house. When I moved in here, the curtains that came with the windows, which is something I guess they all come with, the standard places have these curtains, were so bad that when you looked on the back, they were shredding. I wrote it up, and they were like, no, they're good. Get your own curtains. So what we're going to talk about today is my writing. Now, I'm not as on top of my writing as I used to be. In 2014, 2004, my son was born, and I started rewriting. I had written earlier than that, and I have bits and pieces of those, but computers and USBs made it, flash drives made it so it was easier because I used to keep everything on disk. You know, floppy disks. I had tons and tons of floppy disks. But so I started writing a book called Subi, which now is kind of out of date, but I might still go back and revisit the story because I really like the story. But I thought what I'd do is I'll read some of my ideas. These are not stories. I have not written these into stories. These are just ideas, and there's over 100 of them. I haven't added any new ones lately, just because I turn them into more like stories. But the plan is that Wild Rhyme Time Studios, which is my other channel now, not Shardvixen's Magnificent channel, will have stories and animation on it. I'm going to see if I can get people to read my stories. Maybe people who want to do character, like character acting, voice acting. I don't know if I have to pay them or how much I pay them or what or anything like that. So if you know anybody that might want to start out in that and want to do some stuff free, send me a message. You can. The easiest way to get a hold of me if you don't like Discord is probably going to be Twitter. I do have a Facebook, of course, but that's it. So some of the ideas I have for a story usually come from my dreams. I'll wake up from a dream in which I'm not really in the dream. It's more like, I'm in it, but it's more like I'm watching a movie. And then I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, that was so intriguing. I want to write a story about it. So the first one I have is called Looking for Two Seekers. One male, one is a female, I guess. Special stars, 8-point star. Need three more people plus another person, plus the lead person. And how many? Race of elf, sea, desert, mouth, forest. Tell about fairies and other races. So that's just an idea. It came in I was doing something and I write it down. Doesn't sound like anything. It's not made into anything. It's just put there for me to go, oh, I was thinking about this. I probably will never use it because it's very vague. It's about seekers, but I didn't really leave myself any information except this. Tell about what seekers do. So, and then I now remember the story because it's the gods. So in the gods, you have Chiron, Choron, and Shirvan. And you have Huntro Ro, nomad desert race that lives in the desert of the Shen Temple of Chiron. Lesser goddess. Sorry, I have to open this up. Lesser goddess, younger sister, Kazna, other seeker, heir to chiefdom of the hunter Ross men, healers and priests, women warriors and priests, and it's really loud, so I'm sorry. Women warriors and priests, both sex, peacemakers, lawmakers, right to rule by who your mother is and what your father's rank. So that's just an idea. I'm going to tell you that particular one came from when I was 16. It was an idea I had about these gods and this desert race. And you know the thing about stories is for the most part everything is just a modification of the original story. So there are four original stories they think now. There's the person that needs help and is rescued, the person who rescues themselves, a group of people that go on a quest, a single person that goes on a quest to enlightenment or whatever. And I can't remember this one more. Like adventure time thing. But that's the basis of all stories. Or battle good and evil, I think is what it is. But that's kind of like going on a quest, right? So, there go the computer, I'm sorry. I try to get the notifications down, but they don't work very well. Anyway, so, um, book 2. Here's another idea. It's probably going to be a very boring vlog, but I'm going to get it out there anyway, because I really want you guys to know that I do write, okay? And I have a lot of ideas. And maybe I'll read a couple of the more established ones for you. But I can do voice acting if I think about it. Lately, my brain don't work as well for the voice acting stuff. But I do read narrative stories. I have in the past for kids and stuff. So, book 2. Alien female, future universe. She is an evil person who has experimented on other races and killed many. She is captured due to a betrayal from within her band of no-do-gooders, I don't know how that was supposed to be, who want to do away with her. She is sent to Eron, which is really a prison. The Universal Council takes criminals that are so evil that they cannot be rehabilitated. Their minds are stripped of memories of who they used to be. The prison is a huge planet that orbits around the outside of the universe, far from an inhabited system. The planet is made by all races of the universe. The criminals are drugged and put in a cargo state. They are shipped to the outer ships that orbit the moons that orbit the fake planet. On the ships, they are fitted with a suit that will feed and keep them alive while their brain is hooked into a massive storage facility. They are then put in a pod that is shipped by remote to a moon, which is really a storage unit for the pods. I have to pause this a lot, sorry. Okay, it's running. Okay, so let's see. So we had a suit. From this okay, so they are then put in a pod that is shipped by remote to a moon, which is really a storage unit for the pods. The pods are given an address. From this address, the brainwaves will emit to the huge computer program that will insert the brain into biped bodies that will be the new homes for the criminal brain. The idea is they will earn redemption. Every time the criminal commits a crime on Aeon, the brainwaves are recycled and wiped and reinserted back into the reality. There is no way to escape. Aeon has different regions that have different levels of cultural frames, such as tribal, industrial, colonial, space age. The criminal will start in a low-tech environment and have to move through until he have moved up in deeds of good rather than evil. The cultural laws from the Universal Council state that is everyone responsibility to care for all. No one should go without. All are equal. All life forms are equal. Every planet has the right to govern as they please as long as the rules are met. There is no violence allowed, and killing is an immediate prison time. Stealing and theft of identity are punishable by hard labor. So I actually kind of already turned that into a different story. I still have this base idea, but I took it and I have one called Villain, and I think that's the one. And that is this base story changed over. I go on to this particular person, right? This female, alien female. She is so violent she has been washed, what recycling is called, many times. She is the first to realize that where she is isn't real. She's trying to figure out where it is and how to get out of it. So, Genesis, God will destroy the world and recreate heaven on earth. He will make a new world where we will have to reach the time of being in. The prison is created on this myth. Purging the prison whenever there seems like someone has tried to escape and figure out that it's a fake world. I know it sounds like it'd make a great video game too. If I learned to make video games, that would probably be. This is one of those that I'd really like to do into an animation. And like I said, I've already took this basis of idea and have created an actual story and a character for it. I'm not going to share my particular stories right now. I mean, bits and pieces of them maybe, because I'm going to do that on Wild Rhyme Times. That's my goal for the next 5 years for that particular channel. Shardvixen's Den is going to stay pretty much gaming and streaming of games, and that's it. Everything else is going to go move to Wild Rhyme Time. The reason is because I want to create a different bunch of people to come to that channel. You guys are allowed to come for the vlog, but the vlog will eventually, I'm going to split the vlog in half. And some of the vlog will stay on Shardvixen's Den, and some, like the crafting one and cooking, will go on to Wild Rhyme Time and the animation. So we're going to split, I'm going to split things up a little bit. Why? Just because it's fun and I enjoy doing that. Because I'm weird. Let's read another one, just for the idea of it. So, and then my explanation of this is, long ago, aliens came from another dimension and across the universe to Earth. They took DNA samples, then did experiments with aliens to create new creatures. Creatures that were different than either the original donors, though they could look like both. They tended to be a bit more violent than their DNA parents. Over many years, the tampered aliens merged with the rest of the universe. Earth had crashed and burned so very long ago. It was a myth to all other planets, but it had left behind the information of its satellites and an attempt to communicate with other planets or civilizations. I think that that's a story of its own that I put in there, but I wanted to incorporate it with that ideal. Like, that's how this prison universe was set up. Because for me, I love world building. That's my favorite. Character building and world building. Story, not so much, and I have to work hard on the stories. I do start things with just one-line stories. And if any of you want some of my ideas that I have, like you're like, oh, that'd be a great video game, let me know and I'll just send it to you and you just give me credit. You don't have to pay me for it. You don't, nothing like that. Just say, oh, this was created by Shardvixen, and then, or based on, you know how they do that, based on an idea or whatever. If I was more talented and could make games better, I would do games with this stuff. But writing and making comic books, I was thinking of, making comic books. I'm not the best artist in the world. I'm not a comic book artist, really. But I think that it would be, because I'm not real good with shading and coloring, but I think it would be fun to put it into a comic book style. Maybe invite other people to do the art and I do the writing. I don't know. It's just anything. I mean, it's just nothing. You got things you can do for the rest of your life, and that's what I have to do. I have to find things to do for the rest of my life. However long that might be. So another story is, what if humans were an accident and there was no other life in the universe? Because that's what some people believe, right? That's it. We're it. Nothing else. So I have Family's book in our far history when Terra, also called Earth, was slowly becoming an uninhabited ball of fire that none of the original life forms could live on. A large population of original human stock was shipped with its caretakers, the geneticists, that had helped create many diverse races that now populate the universe. And of these famous and intelligent scientists, there were a couple by the name of Sharia and Ron Twinstar, which became the parents of an entire world of geneticists who would become the rulers of the entire universe. That's the basis of the story. I am guaranteeing you that this particular idea came from the idea of two people, the twin stars. The twin stars and the AI that were created to help with the development of new life forms and new ways to enhance life found a small planet at the end of the furthest corner of the universe, which was called Twigstan, in honor of their family, and also became the planet, also because the planet had 2 moons. Here, the Terran geneticists decided they would preserve the Terra's history throughout its genes. The twin stars had felt that they would be able to create creatures that would be able to live on and in any type of habitat. So let's see, where was I at? I have to pause it. In fact, one of their first creations and first failures were the fire people. The race was created to go back to Terra and take care of it and clean it so that the original owners would someday be able to get back. The fire people were a mix of human, lizard, and elements that could basically survive in the center of a volcano. This race was sent back to Terra, and at first everything went according to plan, but instead of trying to turn Terra back, they decided to leave it as it was and make it their own. So Terra was lost to the original owners forever, or until somehow they could win it back. So, if you haven't been able to follow that, what the idea of the story is that Earth, because our idea of Earth becomes so horrible. It flames up into a big like cinder planet, like Mercury. Gets so hot it becomes like Mercury. So everybody leaves, and then they go to someplace else. I don't know why it has to be the farthest end, but just per se. And they create another planet, and then they create creatures to come back to that planet. Seems like an interesting one. All this took many generations, about 100 years by the old calendar, which really didn't go the same way. During this time, many things have been created and discovered on Twinstan. Their second creation was the Papian, made from human stock that had been enhanced with psychic levels. This race was so servant, like they had a personality, that they were slaves to the rest of the normal humans that still exist. Humans at this time learned the secret of stopping the age. They had learned with the help of twin stars and the AIs to combat any virus and bacteria. Wouldn't we love to have that right now? Disease was wiped out. A whole new generation was created that felt there wasn't anything in nature that could stop them. Nature was a game to discover the rules and change them to accommodate themselves. The old medical ethic was lost, and they began to reproduce children in incubators, educate them with computers, and soon they could communicate. They were encouraged. As soon as they could communicate, they were encouraged to create their own living creatures. Human children needed to create their own servants to take care of them. Since children were created in incubators, they were created in twin sets created from one egg. Each twin set was a mirror image of each other, and they were created from the top families. The only problem was that the people the genes were taken from were highly intelligent, but not very compassionate or have understanding of ethical things. So the planet was a population of evil geniuses, basically, which ended up being their downfall. About 300 years since leaving Terra, Twinstan had completely disregarded their history and their original ancestry of genes. Within the universe, the Twinstan inhabited their planet had become the throne of all and controlled most of the wealth. Okay, so where are we at this? Because I'm sorry, people keep coming in and I'm stopping it. So you're getting a lot of my side face. I'm sorry. It's just the way the setup is right now. Eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to get a camera or set the camera up over here, right? So it goes that way. And when I set, I'll be able to look at my computer, my game screen. And then when I turn this way, I'll be able to do my crafting. That's going to be the goal, is to be able to move myself around. I may end up moving my crafting table right here so that I can see this here. I just haven't decided because I got the microphone and can't figure out. I don't have a stand for the microphone. See, the microphone has to come out like this. I don't like this stand because it won't hook on I don't have a good lip on my desk that I can put that. It has this weird thing and it doesn't fit down here. But that's a ramble and I'm sorry. Anyway, so that's the story of the twin star. I have quite a bit of that in here. I have another book about, imagine that yes you, are standing on a road. You may be wondering yourself, how did I get here? I don't know how you got here. Maybe you passed out and are still a raving lunatic in an asylum, all tussed up in a straitjacket. It really doesn't matter because you are now here. This is the beginning of your adventure, and you, yes you, having paid your dues, are about to start a grand quest. That's all it's in there. That's the idea. I never did anything else with it. Another one is gene mixing metal with vines to create a house of vines stronger than anything. That's it. Nothing's there. That's just a piece of it. A bus on its normal route, and something begins to happen to people. So the bus driver can't get her base on the radio, and no one wants to get off. As the bus starts to leave town, the passengers see more and more weird things happening, so decide that the bus will make its way through the city to the outside of the city to get everyone closer to somewhere else, picking up and getting off on the hill bus. Maybe something like zombies. No explanation, exploding bonding. That's it. That's all I wrote. I mean, that's how I do it. I just write little pieces of it, and then when I am bored and want to do something, I'll go back to this story, or if I look over this and I say, oh, you know, some of these stories are kind of neat. I want to do it. Now, I have tons of stories. So here's what I was going to read to you real quick, and then we'll call it quits, because I will revisit this at a later date. I'm going to read to you the list of all of my universes. So I have Coalition, Exodus, Flame of Justice, Haven, The Magical Universe, Memoirs, Null, Raid Universe, Realms, Reese's Universe, which is the book that I was working on for 3 years, 2012 to 2014. And I completed it. It's done. It just needs to be edited and certain things added to it. We have short stories, Starfall, Subi, The Summerland Madness, Alistair, Ashley, Battle, Beads, Bummer, By the Grace of Fates, Cage, Chain. Chain is on my Discord, so if you guys want to see parts of that. Chance, Divana, Divine Church, Freedom, Graceland, Haldara, Heart and Soul, Hideous, Horizon, Hadi and Naggy Hag, which, okay, Hadi and Naggy Hag was a concept of like those romance kind of fairy tale gothic stories, and I wanted to make a funny one. And I've written bits and pieces of it. I just haven't gotten back to it. It was kind of like a Beauty and the Beast thing, but a flip. So it's the man that's the beauty and the woman that's the beast. And I just haven't really gone back to visit it in a while. It's just a thing. I have Itch in Chile, Jericho, Journey to the Center of Existence, Kara, Laney, Lore, Luzella, Mary Death, who's one of my favorite, Aura, Outfit, Pain, Fiend is another one of my favorite characters, Phoenix, Promise, Rhinell and Richard, which is a love story also, paranormal, Sanquin, which means happiness, Scoopers, Shapeshifters, Soul, Survivalist, Backpack, Tessa, Survivalist Backpack I've introduced on my Discord as well, so if you guys want to read some of that. The Ark, The Blackest of Black, The Curse, The Sisters, Time Slipping, Titania, Tope, Vatars, Willie Lucky, and Zadak. Those are it. Those are all the different, they're more than 50 pages usually, 20 pages of writing. And I have a setup for a character and a place and an idea of what I want to do with them. So all those things are going to eventually go to my wild rhyme. All right, so that's it for today's vlog. And sorry it wasn't brain food really. It was just things, I guess it's brain food. It's just things for you guys to think about. If you're interested in visual stories or not, you should let me know. All right, I'm out of here. Catch you on the flip side. Peace. Stay safe. Stay healthy and stay happy, guys. And I will be back next Friday with Rambling 101. Which, Rambling 101, just real quick, is going to turn into just good enough crafting, like I said, and could be story time. I just haven't figured out a name for story time yet. Or I'm going to put story time in brain food. I haven't decided. And I have to give them labels, like I said, so I can keep things in track. All right, love y'all. Peace.